Hey everyone, today is January 29th, 2026. We are standing right on the corner of 57th Street and Broadway, New York City's Billionaires Row, looking all the way up into Columbus Circle as we see 1 Central Park West, the Trump International Hotel and Tower, and 15 Central Park West in clear view. It is currently -8 degrees out, and it feels like -12 with the wind chill as we get a massive polar vortex hitting New York City. We're going to be commuting back to Grand Central Terminal tonight during some of the coldest weather of the season. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on tonight's most frigid walk. Now, while we're waiting at this red light, I do want to point the camera at some of the buildings on Billionaires Row. This one right now is 157 West 57th Street. That's actually the first building ever constructed on New York City's Billionaires Row. The developer being Extel, with the architect being the famous Christian de Park. The facade kind of resembles a waterfall as you're looking at it from 57th Street. And then this building is by the same exact developer. This is Central Park Tower. This was also done by Extel, and it is the tallest building on New York City's Billionaires Row at 1,550 feet tall. If you're interested in seeing what the building looks like from the inside, we did film a property tour of the duplex penthouse that sits atop of Central Park Tower. It's currently on the market for about $128 million. We're going to head straight down Broadway tonight. And this way we'll be able to check on the construction site where there was the former Bad Boy Entertainment headquarters. This sits just across the street from the Ed Sullivan Theater. Looking at the weather, we are going to miss the vast majority of the snow event, but we are going to get frigid cold from this bomb cyclone, and the wind chills are going to be well below 0 Fahrenheit, and we're going to have upwards of 35 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts, which is just going to be crazy. It's going to feel absolutely unbelievable this weekend. And it seems like the cold is never going to stop. We've now set a record for the most consecutive days below freezing for New York City. We're now approaching West 55th Street and Broadway. You know, I believe if you make this right and you go over towards 8th Avenue, they are opening up a Tim Hortons location, which was so surprising to me to see that. I believe there's only one location of Tim Hortons right now in New York City, if I'm not mistaken, and it's this really small shop that is in Jamaica Station. It's right as you enter the air train. Just before you enter those main turnstiles for the air train, you have this super teeny Tim Hortons. The quality's not that great, but I'd assume this standalone store on 8th Avenue is going to be pretty exciting. before we head down anymore, I do want to quickly turn and not only show you the construction site that they're building, 1710 Broadway, but I also want to show you all of these massive snowbanks, which are now essentially ice banks. Now, the sanitation department is working hard to get rid of all of these snowbanks, and they do that by bringing out big bulldozers where they can pick up the snow and ice and dump them into these special melters. So it's essentially a big machine that they put the snow in that automatically melts it. It's important to do it because, you know, we got about 11 inches of snow in the last snowstorm. And there's just nowhere to put the snow. So cars get blocked in, everything. Okay, this is now 53rd Street. Look at all the garbage that's piled up in the snowbank. Everything is super slippery too, because during the day with the sunlight, a little bit of the snow will melt, but then when the sun goes down and we're at sub-zero temperatures, everything turns into one big slab of black ice. If you look closely, you'll notice the snowbanks are pushed all the way up front. And that's because they had big bulldozers come by and clear the vast majority of the area. Now, on the corner of 52nd Street, you have Gallagher's Steakhouse. Which I've always said has the best business lunch by far. But wow, I mean, temperatures like this, it's definitely not fun to be outside. I mean, I'm pretty bundled up. And it is just unbelievably cold. If you look to the left, you can see the Winter Garden Theater. This is where they have Mamma Mia, the musical, which is fantastic, by the way. I would highly, highly recommend it. And you also have the Stardust Diner. it's so difficult getting around with all the icebergs. And I'm gonna walk right through the dead center of Times Square. This is right by the PIMCO and the Alliance building. And here we have it. This is the Winter Garden Theater. Just about rush hour now, so you're going to see a lot of people on the streets headed to the subways. Still have a lot of snow piled up on the sidewalks. They'll probably continue to clear this as the week goes on. The coldest day of the week here in New York is going to be both Saturday and Sunday. We might get a dusting to 3 inches of snow. This is looking over at the juniors, which the original location of juniors is in Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn, or close to Atlantic Terminal by the Barclays Center. Now approaching Times Square North. This is 49th Street and Broadway. Coming into view, you're going to be able to see One Times Square, which is now an observation deck. So if you're interested in seeing the new ball that they drop on New Year's Eve, you can do that and have a nice bird's eye view of Times Square. Traffic seems pretty backed up just because there's really nowhere for the cars to move over. So if you're taking a cab or you're taking an Uber, you can't pull over to the side of the road. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be getting any use out of these city bikes. I mean, look at this. What a waste of the city bikes. Now, what I'm walking on right now is a complete block of ice. If you could see these snow prints or these shoe prints in the snow, they are now a complete ice slick. And it's probably even impossible to get these city bikes out of here because they are just encased in an entire snow and ice cap right outside of the Krispy Kreme donut shop. I mean, it's a nice sight to see. The view is nice, but I don't think anybody wants to be riding a city bike in sub-zero temperatures. This is the corner of 48th Street. Doesn't look like there's too many people inside the Krispy Kreme donut shop. Since we have the light, we'll cross this way. Again, this is the corner of 48th. I would take you guys to see the torch. It's just too cold out tonight. This area right here is where they had the Times Square holiday market. Now it's just totally covered in snow, which is now ice. As we approach 47th Street, which is where you're going to have the main red steps. However, it's probably closed off due to the temperatures and due to the snow. Usually they close it for extreme icy conditions. Look at that, they've managed to carve out a pretty nice chunk for the pedestrians to walk through. It's still significant in terms of the ice buildup and accumulation. Okay, we've now made it to New York City's Times Square. And just as I expected, it looks like the red steps are closed. We're now coming up on 46th Street. I can't believe these guys are still doing the showtime in this cold. Man, it's just too cold out to do this. Must be freezing. All right, it does look like they've cleared most of the snow here. This is 46th Street and Broadway. The city probably does that just due to the high volume of tourist activity. They want to keep everything really clean, which I get it. We're now walking right past 1540 Broadway. You just really got to be careful. It's super slippery. The snow is turned into these blocks of ice.
Big though for you.
Here's another good example. You can see how all of this is clear. But then right here you have this massive snowbank. They'll probably come back here later tonight and clear all this snow and ice and put it in the melting machine. It's wild to see just how dirty it gets. The snow and ice is no longer white. It turns to this like blackish brown color. And now we're past the Raising Cane's.
Would you like to go to a comedy show? We have shows tonight, tomorrow, and on Saturday. Comedy Club tickets, Comedy Central Live, Comedy Club tickets, live show.
If you make a right here, there's a pretty good Italian restaurant called Carmine's that oftentimes I frequent. Carmine's is definitely a good value because the portions are tremendous. So if you go there with, 2 or 3 people, you could pretty much order one dish and spend around $25. Here's the main entrance to Raising Cane's. This place is always packed.
They can't be in your earpiece.
Ey, es muy bonito. Parece de día.
There's another one of the massive snowbanks. And this is looking northbound now. At least they've plowed this little path for people to walk through. I was here 2 days ago, and this was still just absolutely covered in snow. This is the United States military recruitment station here. And then behind us, you have Carlos Bakery as well as the Jollibee, which is Filipino. It's like a Filipino fried chicken place. We're now coming up towards the NASDAQ. This is a really, really slippery intersection here.
So I feel like,
Oh my God! Please, just one time with my phone. Thank you. Right there.
This is the new entrance to the subway, 42nd Street. But not only do you have the entrance to the subway, you have the entrance to the new observation deck as well. This is now the corner of 42nd Street. This way, we're looking towards Grand Central Terminal. You would first pass Bryant Park, and then the other way would be looking westbound towards the Hudson River, which is now frozen.
I've never seen that ever.
We're now headed southbound towards 41st Street. This is where you have the Joe Pizza in between 41st and 40th on Broadway. be shocked if there's a massive line outside in this. And there actually does look to be a pretty big line. Wow, I give him a lot of credit for waiting outside in this. I'll go ahead and make this left. It's still hard to navigate.
If you own it, because I don't think...
I'm trying to make our own little detour in the snow here. But as you can see, it's essentially this single file line in order to cross the street.
Do you want it?
This is a really nice Rolls Royce. I don't know if I'd be driving that type of car out in this weather. Now going to come up on the very entrance of Bryant Park, and I need to check if the fountain is completely frozen solid. If I had to guess, the fountain at Bryant Park is probably just one solid block of ice. Even the bus lanes look, or not the bus lanes, the bike lanes. How is anybody going to bike through this? I mean, look at that. The city really has to do a better job clearing this. There's no way somebody's going to be able to ride a bike down through there. It's just not going to happen. Okay, now we're crossing over towards Bryant Park. You could also get the subway here, the BDF and 7 trains. Even the walkway up 6th Avenue is a little bit claustrophobic. This okay, here we go into Bryant Park, and just as I had suspected, guys, look at that fountain. Wow. I feel colder just looking at it. And before you know it, we're going to be filming a tour of Bryant Park in the summer. And there's going to be everybody out here in shorts and a t-shirt. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. I mean, it's remarkable to look at it. They should have set up like a 24-hour camera pointed right at the fountain, just so they can kind of do a slow motion of the ice or the water freezing. Wow. You can see the workers breaking up all of the ice and trying to wheel it out of here. And this is exactly what the entire city is. Essentially, all of the snow is turned into at least a 4 to 5 inch thick layer of ice. We are now at the Winter Village here at Bryant Park. Oh, this looks new. I don't think I've ever seen this here before. This appears to be a sectioned off part of the ice skating rink. Wow, this must be brand new. I've never even heard of this. How cool is that? It's like you have these bumper cars here as you're overlooking a stunning view of the Empire State Building and the Radiator Building. Something interesting to do on the weekends for sure. Still have a few places that are open to eat, get a hot chocolate, things like that. Very good. And they replaced the Christmas tree with this little Bryant Park igloo, which is very fitting. We're now going to make this left and exit. Once the weather gets a little bit nicer, we'll be venturing and doing a lot more tours of Lower Manhattan, Soho, Tribeca. We have to get back to. Haven't been to Chinatown in a long time, and we also haven't been to Little Italy in a long time. We're also going to be doing a full segment on the Bronx, which should be fun. Now walking right past the Stephen Schwarzman building, the New York Public Library.
3-day project.
They should really shovel the sidewalks a little bit better right outside of the Stephen Schwarzman building, because it's very narrow. I'll step up here just to show you what I'm talking about. It's not shoveled that well. Not a bad view of the Empire, or the Chrysler building, I should say. Here we are on the corner of 5th Avenue and 42nd Street. You just really got to watch your step because it is very slippery. They finally cleared a big chunk of this ice that was encroaching on the corner here. As we look up at 1 Vanderbilt.
think I also.
My dad person, like, who's New Jersey.
We're passing the original Nat Sherman that unfortunately closed down, and in its place is this cannabis dispensary, and then they have the Jollibee just off to the right that hasn't opened yet for whatever reason. And now we're on the corner of Madison Avenue.
I know.
This is going to be a tight squeeze in between here. Seems we have the sanitation outside of Grand Central Terminal right now. Clearing the snow away from the taxi waiting area. This should be a pretty interesting shot of Pershing Square as we cross the street towards the terminal. Still a little bit of a slushy mess right outside. But as you can see, we do have the big snowplow here. It looks like they're even diverting people away from 42nd Street so they could clear the area. But boy, is it messy. Alright everyone, if you enjoyed that walking tour, feel free to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.